the just flying around. What are you all doing here? Do you all need counseling? Yeah, you can see it. Yeah. Yeah. Take away that strange glasses. In this way, a hearty welcome to. Just excuse me for a second. Welcome to Hildegard's Marriage Counseling Center, the Center Office for Couple Balance, responsible for certified emotional stability, structured conflict and crisis management, the professional handling of apologies, the moderation of heated discussions, and specialized counseling in dealing with mothers-in-law, short MBCBI, CFICUCIN. How can I help you? Uh-huh. Ah. What was the name? Diving. Oh, Teichen. Ah, like the plural of pond in German. Yeah, Teichen, I hope that your marriage is not going down the drain. Yeah, like pond and water. You don't need counseling. Wow, he's not needing it, no. You want to invite me? Invite me. Amore, yeah? Okay, sounds nice. I'll try to make it possible, Mr. Teichen. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. You know, Mr. Teichen, I have something else to do. Yeah, okay. Bye-bye. Oh, he can talk fast. And now to you, ladies and gentlemen, with my long year experience, I have Hildegard's ultimate marriage tips and facts about marriage. Just buckle up. First, tip number 1, fact number 1. After every successful man, what's there? Yes, a wife that rolls with her eyes. Second, a huge advantage of marriage is that you can solve the problems of a marriage together, which you wouldn't have if you were single. And third, communication. Communication is very, very important in marriage. Wait. In communication, to have the positive confirmation, the yes, to make it more clear, add variations of it in the way of saying yes in a more prolonging way. Yes, or the doubling. Yes, yes. Now I'm ready for the call. Again, a call. I can't work like that. Hearty welcome to Hildegard's Marriage Counseling Center, the central office for couple balance and responsible for certified emotional stability, structured conflict and crisis management. The professional handling of apologies, the moderation of heated discussions, as well as specialized counseling in dealing with mothers-in-law. For short, MBCBICF. How can I help you? What was your name again? Schubert. Like the composer, the famous one. I suggest just come along, right? Right? Yeah. I see you in a minute, Mr. Beethoven. Okay. Back to you, ladies and gentlemen. Where were we? Tip number 4. If you wake up next to your sweetheart every day, you're either in a happy marriage or a pirate. Point 5. Yeah, it takes a moment for this one. I know. 5th point, very important. We always try to be politically correct, and today you can't say argument anymore. You're talking about passionate difference in opinions with different phases, or character building front switch with non-verbal words. And the last but not least, 6. If your partner says, do what you want, don't do what you want. Yeah, that would be it. From my side, I'm expecting, hey, Mr. Mozart, directly to the couch. I need your help. My wife, Mr. Vivaldi, how can I help you?
My wife, I tell you, my wife, she doesn't understand me. She doesn't believe in miracles. Something happened, the following. Ilana, come here. There's so awesome things happening here.
Yeah, what?
I'm done. I think miracles are happening. The boys were here, and we were drinking and celebrating and partying, and I got up this morning and everything was cleaned up. It was like cleaned up. Even the washing machine, the dishwasher. And it was empty. I got up from bed and it was empty. I don't get it. It was so clean.
Really?
And the laundry. I never got the laundry into the basket. And next day I come into the bathroom and the laundry is clean. It's folded. It's in the closets. It's really awesome. And the garbage can. There's an empty garbage bag inside. Somebody took the garbage out. I think God heard my prayers. The miracles are happening. You see the problem?
Yeah. I'm very sorry, Mr. Tchaikovsky. I can't help you. I really can't help you anymore. Thank you very much.
It's pretty cool to have everybody here in the workshop. Somebody asked me which one to go to. I said go to this one because it's better. It's really cool that we can laugh together. And for us, it's not just a topic where we don't want to just laugh a lot in life, but we also want to find something deeper in it. There's a famous French soccer player. Marriage has to fight against a monster, constantly fight against a monster called habit. And habits can be really an issue in life. And that it can become such a problem that we don't even find a way out. And I'm so honored to be with you here and with so many people who can take serious topics and still enjoy the humor in them. And I hear it all the time that women complain that men don't listen. I've never heard that at home. Yeah, you're laughing, huh? But we can't. It's just we're not capable. And if we manage to listen, then we don't know how we managed. And we're here in Bavaria, and I would like to take you into a story. two Bavarians. They got married, really real Bavarian farmers from the countryside. And the very simple people, they really were paying attention to not have sex before marriage, and they managed, but they both had secrets that they couldn't tell each other before the wedding. She had some serious mouth smells, really acidic odors coming out of her throat. And his secret was, and he had really bad sweaty feet, really mildew feet. And so when they got married, the question was, how do we solve that issue? And then she thought that in the wedding night, I have to tell him. And she said, you, I have a secret. And he says, I know. You ate my socks. So we don't laugh enough, actually. Children laugh 400 times a day. In the 50s, adults were laughing about 18 minutes per day. And now it's only 6 minutes. And adults laugh only 15 times a day instead of 400 like the children. Yeah, life is getting more tough, more serious, and we're less humorous. Even in the Old Testament, there's a time to cry, a time to complain, and there's a time to laugh. And in Europe, we're really, especially in Germany, we're really capable of complaining and forget to laugh. Okay, there was a Mr. Faust V. He said, those who laugh live longer, and above all, healthier. And what got us to think about humor in the marriage was a man named Frankl. He was a logotherapist. He was a Jew and also a psychiatrist. He was brought into the concentration camp back in the day. If I'm here, then I'm actually going to experience this time consciously. And the only way to survive is by keeping his humor. And then he said to a friend, let's tell each other a joke every day while we're here in the concentration camp. Viktor Frankl, he actually survived the concentration camp. They were telling each other jokes every day. Some were very delicate. And his wife said, Ellie Frankl, he says, humor was an important element of our lives. And we laughed and we discussed many deep topics. And it's beautiful to see such a beautiful picture of a marriage where they would debate things, but they would also go through life, through marriage, with humor, even the darkest moments of life.
That's my true calling. The first point we have for you, why humor is important in marriage, because it promotes joy in and about marriage. And humor and happiness is such an important gift that God gave us to have fun with each other as well and to have it more beautiful. So if we can laugh with our partner, then the together and the relationship stays fresh and lively. If we're laughing, then something is happening in our heart. The heart opens up and it stays more living. In Proverbs 17:22, it says, a cheerful heart is the best medicine, but a broken spirit weakens a person's strength. And the really important thing about humor is it helps us to see things from a different perspective and to not take everything too complicated and too hard. I don't know how you're taking it in your marriage. René is he's really pulling out the worst out of me in my life. Yeah, I don't know how it's with your marriage. If your partner doesn't know exactly which buttons he has to press to really let you flip, is he then really a good partner? Yeah, because we're so close and we know exactly he's really, pulling out the worst out of me. And the point is, the negative and the difficult comes by itself. It comes anyway. And it has so much weight. Why not? Purposeful, taken care of. How can we have easygoing moments in our day-to-day life? So how to make humor a fixed part of our marriage. And you can cultivate this together. And the point is very often that in a marriage, it's the simple things we make. In German, we say make an elephant out of a mosquito. It's for example, the toilet seat with Teichens, the toothpaste lid wasn't closed, the toilet paper wasn't exchanged. René has a special talent. I just don't understand it. I don't grasp it. He has several toilet rolls. He has several of these toilet rolls. One is almost empty. Is it not good enough anymore? So then we have a more full toilet paper roll, and then an even similar full one next to it. Why? It's something simple, but it's annoying me to ends. And I was like, what is wrong with these toilet rolls? What's wrong? And very often it's those teeny little things. But if we manage to take these things and look at it with humor and get a different perspective and don't take them so serious anymore, then they're not so bad anymore. For example, a not closed toothpaste and not closed toilet seat. It's, if you look at it to some, like somebody who slept with somebody else and did something else in marriage, which is a way more heavy. So it's really not so bad. So let's have more fun about it instead of fighting over it. René and I, we started something new. We found out something. I read something. We have an imaginary flatmate. His name is Lars. If we have Lars here in this room, sorry for them. Don't be offended. You can call your imaginary flatmate differently. Everything that runs wrong, we blame Lars, so that we are not accusing each other anymore. And this week, I came down to René and said, René, this Lars started, he actually vacuumed the floor, but didn't charge it. And I wanted to vacuum, and it's empty now. Lars? And he looked at me. And then he said, yeah, Lars, okay. And we really had to laugh about it. Yeah. And something that would really have tension, we could take it with humor because we looked at it from a different perspective. Otto Julius Biermann, humor is if you're still laughing. what we do in our day-to-day life, we send each other's gifts and reels, which are very funny. And I really was thinking about if René is sending me a reel, which is funny, then I know in a moment that made him laugh, he was thinking about me and passed it on to me to also make me laugh, and that has a connection. And we have 2, 3 reels as examples for you.
Good morning, sweetheart. Or should I say, Mrs. Vine? Isn't this absolutely beautiful? From now on, it's just you and me and the rest of our lives. Every minute of every day, together. Summer, winter, autumn, spring, come what may, I'll always be with you. Wherever you go, I'll go. Every direction you turn, there'll be no escape from my love. Oh, I know people say that you change when you get married, but don't worry, darling, I'll never change. Never. Sure, we'll face obstacles, but we'll face them as a team. And when we do go through hard times, we'll go through them together. And we'll always be able to look back to this day, this place, this perfect moment together. Don't bite your nails, Lars.
How women want a man to eat his toast. Can we watch that again with a vacuum cleaner? Just for me. You guys are laughing. That saved my life. I thought I was the only one suffering from this. I'm sitting at the table, I'm eating. And she says, clean up the dishes. With the food on it? And I'm thinking I gotta, pack the dishwasher even while I'm still eating. She wants to remind me because she's worried that I'll forget. And the joke with the vacuum cleaner is truly an issue with us, and it's had a lot of impact on our marriage. I'm very happy that we have Lars. Lars was wirklich was oil for my soul. I always felt attacked and denied, and now we have a common enemy, Lars. Thank God for Lars. I'd stand in the kitchen and I wanted to go hide in the corner and go to my victim role because I don't know how to turn on a vacuum cleaner. But laughing actually helps us to relax at home. Humor connects. And if we can find the things where we can laugh together about, difficult things, a humorous exchange and shared laughter strengthen relationships and create a deeper bond. Humor allows us to accept the differences in our personalities with a smile and connects us on another level. It builds trust. Somebody said once, whenever we laugh, a problem dies somewhere. Author unknown. So the vacuum cleaner moments, when we're ready to leave the house and she's not ready, when we complain we're actually using a lot of energy to complain, for bickering, yeah, it tends to emotionally drain us. When we have to show a mistake to someone else, showing them their own faults, but we could use the same energy to laugh about these things and to find a mutual fun and a mutual agreement. And then we can take care of, oh, honey, you're up now.
Yeah. If I wouldn't be ready, like when we're getting out of the house. Third point, humor helps really in crisis and conflicts. Why? I have a quote, the Viktor Frankl. There is hardly anything in human existence that allows people to gain distance to such an extent as humor. If we have a situation, a crisis, a difficult situation, to cope with it with humor, it helps us to have a healthy distance. And it's not that as bad as if we wouldn't have the distance. It doesn't mean that we're ignoring the situation or that we try to avoid it, but we're trying to look through the glasses of humor from a different perspective. And also, there's these clinic clowns who go to children into the hospital, and they're saying as humor creates, humor helps to go through these crises, and they make fun for the kids who have cancer or other really difficult situations. And humor can heal. To laugh helps us to heal. It takes a lot of wisdom to work around with humor, to have, that feeling in your fingertips. When is it appropriate and when not? It needs a dose of wisdom. I'm talking about experience. Humor needs a dose of wisdom, especially in marriage. It's not just about being funny, but also about recognizing the right moment and understanding the importance of humor as a connecting element.
I don't know how it is in your marriage, but in our life, we've had a few challenges. I had a pretty heavy operation on my stomach. The doctor said it's a routine for him. And they cut me open. Yeah, get a tube out of my penis, tubes out of my belly. Pain like a stuck pig. And then I had a video call with my wife. And the worst thing you can do after a stomach operation, a belly operation, is laughter. And then we saved this photo, and we had to master this moment because it was actually quite dangerous. Look at her, she's laughing. It's really funny, isn't it? So we were walking, went for a walk, and I had a tube full of tubes coming out of my neck. Yeah. It was difficult, but in this situation we didn't complain. We laughed. Actually, sometimes I'm an angry person. In the meantime, it's okay. But sometimes I can really escalate if she triggers me. And then we crashed into each other, and I ran into the door. Our living room door has a hole. It doesn't have to do with my power. It has to do with the weakness of the door. And we're leaving that hole. When we have guests, we show them our bedroom door and say, hey, that's the hole in the door.
We could frame it.
But in that moment, when we said that to our guests, when they come by, in that moment, I'm exploding, inside, because I know I need to get free. But in the meantime, we can laugh about these
Exactly.
things.
That's the how to. It's so helpful in certain situations to try to look at it with humor, to take a picture, even if you feel more like crying, to get the distance. But then there's also how not to. A few years ago, we went sailing with Ari. Ari, where are you? Yeah, you remember? And we had such a crazy storm, and I was so seasick, and I was only hovering over the railing. And if you're seasick, I don't know if you've experienced it before, Ilana, only 8 hours till the next harbor. And I thought, I'm going to kill all of you. And all I wanted was two things, either dying or go overboard. You just want to be off that boat. But completely different. My beloved husband, he couldn't care less. I need to sit upright and I can only look at the horizon and nobody is allowed to talk to me. I just need to focus on the horizon and try to balance it out. And then vomit again. And he could be in the lowest point and he can still read. And he has nothing. And he realizes that I'm not feeling well. He comes with his phone, comes upstairs and films me while I'm in the storm and vomiting over the railing. And he says, oh, darling, are you not feeling well? And that's where this awesome picture was taken. There are moments where it's not okay. And another example, we were on vacation in Switzerland, and René was at ICF Zurich as a speaker, and I had a kidney infection and was in hospital. And I had to stay 2-3 nights there, and I was supposed to take him to the ICF Zurich, but I couldn't. I was feeling so sick, and René actually went by himself. Darling, can I take a picture? Can I show a picture from you that the people know why you're not here and that they can pray for you? And I thought, yeah, but not the one in my nightgown. Okay, he goes to Zurich, and when I felt a bit better, I was like that in the hospital, and I thought, okay, without supporting him, I'm just look into the live stream, and I see following. Next picture. He only heard nightgown, that picture, that's what we're taking. So it does take wisdom. When is it okay? When is it not okay? Because you could also really affront the other one in the wrong situation. That's why I really ask you to, have a bit of awareness when it's right and wrong, and think about it before you start through with it. So this is a workshop, right? It's not only that we're talking here from the front. So now you, as couples, you can exchange each other, and we have 2 questions for you to reflect upon and discuss. Have a talk about what serious situations have you had in your marriage that you now laugh about when you talk about them, if you talk about them, or What, looking back on it, what annoys you about your spouse and how could you take it with humor in the future?
Noch wichtigere Frage ist, was nervt dich an deinem Ehepartner und wie könntest du das in Zukunft ein bisschen mehr mit Humor nehmen? 6 Minuten Zeit.
You have 6 minutes time for the two questions. I'm going to translate them for you again. The first one is, what serious situation have you had in your marriage that you now laugh about when you talk about them? And the other one is, what annoys you about your spouse and how could you take it with humor in the future?
I hope you're all done. We also thought about what could we do new in our marriage. And we said, we're going to have ChatGPT make a picture of Lars. And then we're going to hang it up because then we'll blame him for everything. If I go back, what Viktor Frankl said, that his experience in the therapy and psychology and what he experienced in life, that in his life he noticed that humor can help you survive just as much as love itself can. And so it's good to have experiences like that to grow on them. I used to work in a drug rehabilitation center. Yeah, I was a patient beforehand too. That was one hand, one face to the next. Seamless. So what's with the pens here? So we have tensions in life. You know, it's kind of like stock exchange. It goes up and down all the time. And we're looking for those moments in life where we can live optimally and not in a crisis. You know, whether with humor and tension in life or suffering in marriage, there's a certain area where you have extreme struggles, emotional fights. But then there's these depths, these lows, you know, getting older, children are difficult, sickness. But with humor, we can break these peaks, and so that we can stay in a bandwidth where we can still communicate with each other. Or, you know, even in extreme suffering, even in the suffering, you can introduce a piece of humor, like the lady who yesterday told the story, the blonde lady with the singer, with the children. And she said during the communion, I really celebrate that moment where she said, you know, it's the holy moment, but she'd rather throw wine in his face. That takes so much pressure off the table, and you can talk to each other normally again. And we need to keep this in front of our eyes. Where can we take these peaks out of our life? What's next? Q&A. What's important for us now? We have a few minutes time left. That you ask us questions. You can ask anything, and we'll answer almost every question. ICF Radio will go around.
Catherine and Patrick, we already have a lot of questions.
You know, we have... okay, otherwise...
We already have a question right here.
Do you have any tips how you can constructively handle a situation where two partners are completely contrary in regards to humor itself? You described it as this point where, you know, how about if your humor is the exact opposite of what your humor,
that's a really good
your
question.
partner has for humor?
That's a really good question.
Okay, I still think basically important, you know, both have humor. That's important. From a constructive point of view, I would say I would try to find out where's the overlap of humor. Maybe it's actually, you know, Schadenfreude, where you're happy about someone else's damages. You know, there is a common foundation, maybe. Okay. Gloating as part of humor. That's Schadenfreude. So at least we both have some things we can laugh about.
I think Ilana had add something. After I write to this question, you can try to learn to understand the humor from the other one, even if you don't like that humor, but try to find it funny. And even if you just do this, ha ha ha.
That was my approach. That was my approach. Lorio. My question would be, how do you find a Lars in the family? Were you coached to find him, or how did you come up with the idea? You have a Lars, right? Okay, so how did you come up with the idea?
You read it somewhere, and you said that worked for us.
She saw that somewhere in a book, and she said, and she implemented it. And now she just said, now we have Lars, and it's his problem. It's his fault.
I read it somewhere, and I thought it's really good. We really need a Lars, and it's a good idea. And now we make a picture of with ChatGPT and have it at the picture, not to forget it. Instead of accusing each other for things that go wrong, we just blame Lars, so we have a common enemy.
Maybe there's a coaching on how you came up with the idea. No, that's very expensive. Coaching is expensive.
We have another question. Can we talk to Lars if the husband is not listening? As a listener. If René is not listening, so you're talking and René is not listening, can you listen to Lars? We only have Lars since a couple of days, so we are really trying to find out. We really don't know, and we don't have any
I can
instructions.
see there's a huge demand for it. We're going to have to put a patent on it. Next year you come back and you'll find out if it worked. We'll have a puppet with us called Lars, you know. René's out and then Lars is in, you know, we'll see how it happened 1 year later. I have a question. Why just Lars? Is it only, are you the only one who's at fault here? Yeah, I'd have a suggestion, maybe a Sarah or something, maybe a
you can
female
also have a Hildegard or whatever.
But then you have two. Maybe it would fit if there's a female person you could blame.
Of course. Yeah, it's all possible. I can see we have with Lars, we really found a point with everybody. Do we have any more questions? Please raise your hand and we can come up there. You can move.
So that was you, right?
Do you have good games of cards that are funny? Or do you play like board games? We play Skyjo. Do you know that? A few know it. Brandy Dog. In a group, it's always funny. Top 10. You don't play just the two of you. So Brandy Dog, Skyjo, poker.
We have a cool take your clothes off game. A tie, a scarf, and boots.
But what we also did on a date night is exit the room. Now, what is it called? Exit games. There you have that as a board game as well. I picked one for advanced, unfortunately. The quizzes were so complicated, and we were trying to solve these quizzes and had a lot of fun in the beginning. Exit the room is also a good game.
when you place, when you, with some games it's difficult to play with kids.
Some pantomime is also a good one. You get to see new sides from pictures.
We still have room for 2 questions. Any questions up here in the upper rows?
Maybe you have tips.
Maybe you have tips you want to pass on.
Maybe.
Katja, did you want to take a walk?
It has a bit of like Wetten, das.
You can go faster, honey.
I'm trying not to fall up the stairs, then you have something to laugh. You won the game this morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
That
that
was
was only my.
It was my plan just to get you to walk. My question is, can you put humor directly into a conflict situation, directly or only in retrospect? And maybe a question for you, René. If you bring in humor into a conflict, does your wife accuse you of deflecting, or does it actually solve some of the tension? So in a conflict, mostly I don't want to solve any issues or tension. I want it to blow over. I want it to finish. There are things about how not to do. Recently, she was really mad, and I thought we were so well prepared for Amore, and she was in bed, and she was boiling, and then I said, "Think about Viktor Frankl," and it was really the wrong moment for that piece of advice. What was the question?
It was several questions in one. Whether we manage in a conflict to have humor in it. Sometimes yes.
It really needs. You have to have this. You have to have this in the back of your mind. And it's also part of this picture is actually giving up your own demands and rights, so that some of these tension peaks can actually, be avoided. Because if she escalates just as I am, then it turns into an infinite spiral. Sometimes I'll laugh just to make her even more mad, and then I have to laugh even more.
Very helpful.
It resolves my tension peaks, but maybe not hers.
The cactus. If I'm really upset and angry, then it's almost like I'm trying to hug a cactus. And sometimes he comes along while I'm really angry, and he says, "You need a hug."
And then she'll be as stiff as a piece of wood.
You're the cactus again, because we're used to it. Then I know that the cactus, and I have to laugh, and then the highest tension is over, and we can actually talk about the true problem better. But you have to find out, what helps you best.
So for example, in the summer, she can look around the corner. You know that? You ever had that? There's a woman with a mini skirt and huge bust, and I don't even see her yet. But my wife already sees her coming around the corner. And then that lady will walk around the corner, and then I'll notice that the tension will jump, and I'll try everything to not look, and she's just waiting for me to look. And then she'll say, "Don't look at her butt." And I'll say, "Okay, fine." And then we can make a mutual analysis of the situation. They're probably paid for and everything. And that takes the tension out.
We could actually listen for hours to your examples. Maybe you want to write a book with all your experiences. Thank you so much, the two of you.
At the end, we would like to pray with you. But laugh together as well. Let's get up and let's go into a deep moment with God, that God has created us this way, that we're allowed to have humor. I often have Jesus in front of my eyes, and I'm thinking he often laughed with his disciples as well, or he laughed about them, laughed with them. And let's just go to God, that we take these tension peaks and we use this instrument of humor wisely and apply them to our marriage. Jesus, I want to thank you for your presence. You said there's a season for everything. There's a season for crying and for laughing. And now, Jesus, we would like to feel your love and your acceptance for us, but also your creativity and bring it into our marriages. And I would like to bless everyone that we walk out of this hall. And this life is so challenging at times, but that you give us a healthy humor and apply it to our marriages so we can treat each other with love in life. In Jesus' name, amen.